Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make molang, and I'm going to show you how to make two different types. So one bigger one, which is just a regular figurine, and then a tiny little charm as well. So let's get started. So first you're just going to need some white clay. So this is about 50-50 white and translucent. I just find that it gives it more of a snowy white color. Just tear off a piece and roll it into a medium-sized ball. This is going to be for molang's body, so make sure it's the size that you want. And now I'm just making it into my favorite body shape, which is the V shape. So I'm just indenting it around the middle and smoothing it out. So now I'm just squashing it down on the table a little bit because I want it to stand up. And this is the shape that you'll get. And now we're just going to take a small ball of clay, and this is going to be for molang's ears. So roll that out into a thin log and just soften up the edges. Flatten it very slightly. And then I'm just cutting the end pieces off. And that's what they look like. And I'm just going to stick that onto molang's head. And use a needle tool to secure it down to the head. Just dragging the clay down towards the head and smoothing it out. I'm just going to do the same to the other side. And molang's ears are quite close together, almost touching, but you also want to make sure that you fix it down in the middle between the two ears, and you can always squash them together later if they move too far apart. And so this is what you end up with. Then take two small balls of clay and roll them into small logs, and these are going to be for the arms and the legs. And just cut off the rounded end pieces once again. And now I'm just picking one up and putting it on the bottom for the leg, and using my needle tool to fix it onto the body. And just doing the same with the other side. And doing the same with the arms as well. The arms, I'm going to put them around the same level that I made the dent earlier. All the same process, just with all four limbs. And so that's what he looks like so far. And now I'm just going to take a small ball of clay for the tail. And I'm just going to put that on the back of molang's body. And fix it in place with a needle tool. So this one's a little bit more tricky than the limbs because you actually want it to retain its round sort of shape. That's okay, you can always redefine the line later like this. And so that's what he looks like. And now I'm just going to make a small molang as well, slightly different way. All the initial steps are the same, only using very small pieces of clay. So this is for the ears. And so I'm just rolling that into a log and cutting it down the middle. So I'm just going to fix those piece by piece on the head and smooth them on with my needle tool. I find the smaller that you make the features like the ears and the limbs, the more fat he appears. So that's why I made the tiniest ears I could. And now this is just for the limbs, taking another small ball of clay, rolling it out and cutting it down the middle, and then I'm just going to put those on for the arms. And that's what he looks like. And I'm just going to take another ball and roll that out into a log, cut it down the middle, and put that on the body, right down at the bottom. And just using my needle tool to smooth that on. And doing the same with the other side. So now I'm just taking a small ball of clay for the tail. And I'm just using a toothpick to make an indent on molang's back. And now I'm just using some TLS to make sure that it sticks on. And then I'm just going to take that ball of clay and put it in the little indent. Now I'm just using my silicone shaper to make two little dots where I want the eyes to be. And I'm just making those indents a little bit deeper. And now I'm just taking some chocolate colored clay, and I'm going to use this for the eyes and the mouth. So I'm going to just take a small amount for the eyes. And cut off two small little pieces and roll them into balls. like this. And I'm just going to insert them into the indents that I made earlier. And just use my silicone tool to push them in slightly and then roll it across to make them flat. That way they kind of look like they're painted on, but they are made with clay, so you don't need to glaze your charm if you don't want to later. So now I'm just taking a really tiny snake of clay, and I'm going to use this for the mouth. So I'm just going to make a circumflex shape with this one for the nose and one side of the mouth. And then I'm just going to take the other small piece and use it for the other side of the mouth. And so this is what he looks like now. And so now the clay is done, I'm just going to use some chalk pastels to dust on the cheeks. I'm using a very light peach color, and I'm using a big makeup brush for the big Molang. And now I'm just taking a smaller brush for the little Molang, and I'm just going to dust the cheeks on. And just blow off any excess dust. As I've seen from Nerdy Crafter and a few other fantastic polymer clay artists, they use acetone or nail polish remover before baking, and I think that will be especially useful when you're making a fully white piece. And now I'm just taking that same hot chocolate color paint, and I'm just going to use a dotting tool to dot on the eyes. Initially what I do is just make 2 dots so I can see where I want the eyes. And then I come back and just define them a little bit better. You might get a bit frustrated at this point. I redid the face maybe 5 times before I got it how I wanted it. But don't worry, it's really easy to fix your mistakes over here. The easiest thing to do is just to wait for the acrylic paint to dry and then scrape it off with your fingernail. I find this so much better than trying to get it off with nail polish remover, because when I do that I just make it a lot worse. And so now I'm just taking a very fine paintbrush and I'm going to paint on the same mouth that I did on the other Molang. And so I'm just making an obtuse angle on one side and then just drawing a line on the other. And so now if you want to, you can glaze your charms so that the paint doesn't come off. Because I actually made a couple for myself and then my partner wanted one, I ended up making another one for him as well. So I painted this cute little heart on Molang's butt. And this is me fake painting over here because I did it out of camera. Because I'm just going to use this as a figurine and it's not an actual accessory, I'm not going to glaze these ones. And this is the little one. I know they're not completely perfect, but I really like how they turned out. I've been wearing the little one on a silver chain for a few days now, and it's actually surprisingly elegant for a fat rabbit. And this is my expanding Molang family. If you're not already following me on Instagram, I would recommend checking it out because I will be doing a giveaway when I hit 1,000 followers. And I'm super excited to share my creations with people who maybe can't afford to buy them from my shop. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!